There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Recovery Drive members, this will be officially our first training session on the back office of CoopCrowd. We all know that we had quite a road coming to where we are, crossroads, in fact. And let me just give you some background. I know there are quite a number of people from different groups on here that do not understand the Recovery Drive process properly. And I do believe that we need to explain that before we just go into the back office. So the Recovery Drive was started to help organize a networking group where nobody is left behind. And we started off with a spreadsheet where we ensured, like we did on our presentations, that everybody will, we're making sure that everybody will have 3 personals under them. Okay. Now, because we had about 8,700 members from a previous dispensation, we said we will place people under them. That initially happened when we had the funders coming in and funding our Recovery Drive to get it off the ground. But then a lot of other people also came on board that were from other groups. They wanted to join the Recovery Fund, the Recovery Drive, because they heard there is no recruiting and we will place people under there. We all got to understand that when we have to place people under you or under the people that you brought in, we have got the number of people. The Recovery has got a system on the website as well, which is called the Recovery Queue. So anybody that cannot afford to come into the system can get into the queue. It is a fully compliant application form, so that we don't fall foul of the POPI Act, so we can contact them afterwards again, and then bring them into the Recovery Drive, because we've got 25 recovery funding accounts. And those recovery funding accounts, as per our presentations, are mainly there that we can pay it forward to the people that are in the recovery queue or from the ex-Super 6 people. So when we started getting approached by other big groups, people all fell on, all jumped on the bandwagon of you do not have to recruit. But in all of our T's and C's, and anybody here can dispute that with us, we've said that you still have to share. On the 50-50, it was one of the T's and C's that before we hand over the account to you and your wallet to you, the minimum requirement was to bring in 3 people. So call it recruiting if you want to call it. Because you had an experience coming into the Recovery Drive, you didn't have to recruit. And then we were anticipating that everybody goes through the 50-50 until the 4,000 wheelhouse. And then we hand over the position. There is money in your wallet that is built up over a period of time. And we will then hand over that money, expected to be between $15,000 and $40,000. And part of the T's and C's that you donate $5,000 to the recovery funding account, that we can use it as a paid forward to other people. But the T's and C also said you've got to bring in a minimum of 3 people. So I'm correct in saying that, Heinrich? That was the T's and C's on the 50-50.
That's correct, yes.
Yeah. Now, we were approached and advised by our compliance officer that anybody out there, and apologies, before we get to that, a lot of members have requested, can't they see their back office because they are going on a blind faith that we've registered them and they cannot see anything happening. So we had to talk to David T. Rosen and say, look, can you give us some kind of access, or can we write a program from the Recovery Drive so that people can know how they are growing through the different wheelhouses? And David said, oh, we can do something like that. We can give access to a locked position so people can't do anything, and they can see the front office, and they can see in which wheelhouses are open already. They can see how many donations they've received in total and how many donations have been sent out by their wallet as well. And if you look at those numbers, you can work out the difference that should be more or less in your back office, in your digital wallet. And we were then told that even although we had the terms of conditions, our compliance officer mentioned that if there's anybody out there that is about to lose their house, and it's an analogy that Heinrich has given quite often, if anybody's out there in these dire straits, and believe me, there are people on this call who are in that kind of situation. It's reality out there. People have lost their jobs, cannot buy the bond anymore, or cannot buy the vehicle finance on a monthly basis, and are about to lose their car, lose their the house, which is a terrible situation. And if anybody's in that situation and they look at the recovery drive and they say, look, even if the position was sponsored by me through the recovery funding account, or especially if I bought in my own position at that point in time, it was roughly $85. And let's clarify that the position was $60 to get in. $25 was to activate your 25 wheelhouse in 50/50. $29.99, or let's call it $30, was to pay for the annual software license fee. Note, annual software license fee. And then we had about $3 or $4 extra, making it up to 60, because we noticed with the mass registration that we've done, that suddenly some accounts were depleted between the 50 and the 100, between the 50, 25 and the 50 wheelhouses. Because there is a 1% transfer fees of the donations. And when that happened, we started topping up all the people that we registered by then from $57 to $60 to make sure that there's sufficient funds there, because only the wheelhouses thereafter is enough funds coming through in donations to take care of those funds. So people see that they've got funds in their account, they're about to lose their house, they can go to any attorney and say, I've got funds there, and I am not allowed to get access to those funds. I'm about to lose my house. And that would have put the whole recovery drive with its T's and C's into jeopardy. Now, we've worked out the 50/50 in the recovery drive to the T, where when we hand over positions, people sponsor $5,000, donate $5,000 out of their 30 to 40,000 for not doing anything, for not recruiting. But we then tell them to share. Now, if you take a whole lot of accounts and everybody pays $5,000, that is a lot of money coming through. With that, we could have registered so many people. If you just take an analogy, and I want to play with, I know big numbers don't always talk to all the people, but let's talk to some numbers that we worked out. When we have 10,000 people on the system and they all go through on the 50/50, and you take 10,000 people and everybody donates $5,000, that is in total $50 million. And if all 10,000 people have to, according to our T's and C's, bring in a minimum of 3 people, that is 30,000 people coming in. And to fund 30,000 people at $60 each on a pay it forward structure, we would only use $1.8 million out of the 50 million. So we could either pay it forward to many more people, or we would have increased the entry instead of $60, bringing it up to $450 and get people immediately on the $250 wheelhouse, which is what they call then the sweet spot. Now, any new people that came in that don't know about the 50/50 and are only aware of the crowd, this would not make sense to you. The fact of the matter, however, is that when we approached David T. Rosen and said, can you also hold people's monies back? Because when people get their wallet in the 50/50 and we hand it over because we don't want to carry that liability, people will just draw out the money because people are desperate out there. And when people draw out their money, and there is no more money to send donations to people that are within the system, in the recovery drive, it'll jeopardize the growth of everybody else's position. So with this whole scenario of having the liabilities, we can hand over the account on the 50/50, people will draw their money. David T. Rosen came to us and said, look, 50-50 is unpredictable. When people draw out the money, it just doesn't grow. And we've had quite a few groups that joined the recovery drive because they had 200 or more people in their groups. And they were stagnating because people were not bringing in people. People were not recruiting, if you want to call that word again. People don't like recruiting. You've got to face the fact. But when there is a system that works where we all work together and we say, share this opportunity with other people, people are prepared to share it and bring it in. And that's why all the applications come in through the recovery drive, those electronic Google form applications. So we've got control on everybody that comes in. People then make the payments to the recovery funding accounts. And from there, we do member-to-member transfers. All right. So having said that now, when we said to David, can you keep 8,000 back? He said, I cannot run that risk. I cannot do the liability on that one. And neither can I. You can put my own program in jeopardy by holding people's wallets back. And he then suggested that we move everybody over, the entire recovery drive group at that point in time, 2,600 people, to CoopCrowd. CoopCrowd will grow slower, but it will be consistently also increasing from lower amounts to the larger amounts. But like in any other 3x10 matrix, even in 50-50, if we didn't bring in people consistently, it will stagnate. And we do believe that with the pay it forward culture that we are putting in, where people all say, all right, if I get money and I get $500 every month or $300 every month, I'm prepared to put in once of $200 because the recovery drive can use it to pay it forward to another 7 people. And when you're on the 250, we said, when you're at the fourth level and you earn about 2,490, which is a 10x of the amount that you would have earned on CoopCrowd 25, to donate an addition, or at that point in time, 2,000 one-off to the recovery drive, which we will use to bring in 70 new people into CoopCrowd 25, so that they also can be placed under other people. So with the whole moving over to CoopCrowd, only out of the 2,600 people, about 707 people were already moved over to CoopCrowd 25, or were on CoopCrowd 25. So David, and we sat together with him and we said, okay, how do we get the other 1,980 people also over there? Because they all need to be activated with $28.28 plus a $1 activation fee of the CoopCrowd on that side. Now, if you take 2,000 or 1,980 times 29, that is $57,420, ladies and gentlemen. And the recovery drive in total did not have those funds. Because you've got to remember, in 50-50, when you've got suddenly quite a bit of money in the wallet, because you received donations, 6 donations from people that came into the wheelhouse, then the automatic upgrade to the next wheelhouse happened. Let's say you were on the 500, you now went to the 1,000. 2 donations of 500 each were sent out to 2 people, your inviter and somebody else, which means your wallet immediately came back to nearly zero, or whatever the balance was in there. And at the time of moving over from 50-50 to CoopCrowd, our team did an exercise, not once, twice before, and then twice afterwards, after the transition, where we looked at how much wallet is in everybody's account, because this was a suggestion from David T. Rosen, that we look what the recovery drive has got, we use it that we can move over 1,900 people together with all the lot to CoopCrowd. On that regard, we were short for about $23,000. And that's where David T. Rosen said he will help us. And he took money out of his pocket so that we can get all 2,600 people over to CoopCrowd. With the transition, there's obviously quite a few things that happened that we didn't agree, etc. And that was the delay. Now, the delay also caused that when people went over on the 17th of November, and for 2-3 weeks, we sat through all these problems and discussed it with David. And eventually we had to make a move. And David came up with a plan that, all right, we will reset everybody's account, because in CoopCrowd, everybody must contribute $28 every 28 days. When you've got 3 personals under you, and they also pay their $28, remember $3 is a fee, and $25 in Coop 25 goes into the matrix. You then don't have to pay that $25 anymore because it becomes free as per our presentations. When those 3 people also have 3 below them, which means you now in total have 12 people below you, 3 personals and 9 extra of those 3 that have their own 3 personals, which means you now qualify for additional bonuses because you are a qualified donor. And then through the matrix of 10 levels, you get micro donations coming through. And that's why in your wallet, some people will see already, the people that have been in for longer, that there are little 1 rand, 2 rand, $20, $20, $15, $5 coming through. And that's what will happen in future. Now, obviously, because everybody helped everybody moving over, you will see on your back office, there is a deduction on the 17th, which is called Main Recovery CoopCrowd Activation Fee. So that money was taken out of everybody's wallet that was in there, not all of it. It was a little bit inconsistent, but it helped that we move everybody over. Because of the delay in figuring out where the problems were, the time obviously was running on for people to pay the next 28. And this is where David came in and said, all right, I'm going to give you a grace period of 28 days. And then we spoke to David and said, look, we're going into festive season now. People are going on to holiday. We have to restructure everything. Our whole marketing has to be restructured. We even increased our forum team and the admin team. And we're going to kick off now already, but earnestly with marketing and everything in January, because just before Christmas, then there is between Christmas and New Year, and give us extra leeway. So what he's done, he has extended it to the 28th of January next year. That in itself, and that gesture, cost David and the system quite a bit of money. And the recovery drive, the forum, and all of these members that are on here tonight, is important that we all take hands together now and move forward to the benefit of you and everybody else. So when we go into the back office now, we're going to talk a couple of things, and I know we are recording this. There are a whole lot of questions. If Heinrich doesn't get to all the questions, then we will look at the Zoom recording and get these questions down and start on the groups to answer the question. But we will have this training every Monday at 7 p.m. so that questions can be answered. You do training and Q&As. All right. So at this point in time, let me start sharing so we can get into a back office. Okay, so let's first get into one account, and quite happy to do that. Let me move this over, minimize it on that side. So I'm going to log in here into the main recovery account. So that there are certain questions that people have asked me already that I need to, and I can only explain that really on the main recovery account. Okay. Number one, this is your back office that you can see. Forget about the just steps, buy 3 tokens at this point in time. This is a strategy that has been approached by corporate in CoopCrowd, where they say, also, just like Recovery Drive, pay it forward. So when you are in the system, you can buy 3 tokens, and then you challenge 3 people. Said, listen, I will pay for your CoopCrowd position, provided you will also challenge 3 people. So once you are activated, you also buy 3 tokens, which works out about $84 in total, plus then your crypto fees. And then you challenge 3 people. And so one can grow the whole process. But everybody's got to play that game of challenging other people. And when you're in, you got to know that when you challenge somebody, that they have the funds available, that they can buy 3 tokens, so that they can also pay it forward to somebody else and challenge them. So those are things in marketing that we will still go through. So there is a little video that you can view that is exactly what they're talking about there on your back office. Now, at the top here, you will see there is time until lapse. So the main recovery account on $25 will have to renew their $28 on the in 8 days and 4 hours. Here's the countdown. If you look at CoopCrowd 25 donations here, it shows at the top you are qualified. The auto renewal is set to yes, and the auto upgrade to 250 is no. Well, now we are on 250 already, and we're going to talk about that just now. So it shows here what have we received for the month so far and for the whole year and overall. This is a guideline that will show you per week and all of that where money's come in. Because we are standing still at the moment, there is nothing that has come in the last week. When you go on here, when you are qualified for COOP 250, and you click on there, it'll then show you what you will be earning through COOP 250. On the recovery drive, we got like 3 or 4, 6 people below that. And let me show you that. And this is one of the questions we received from the members to address. If I go to the personal team, here we can say, as we mentioned in our Zooms, in our presentations, that we have registered 6 personals, recovery funding accounts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here they are. They are all active. These numbers we will explain later in the next training session. The total active, the 9 and 2, 9 and 2, 9 and 1. When you look at your cooperative team, so here we got 6 personals. The cooperative team is all the people below that are there. And in this case, we're talking about recovery, 3 accounts there, and the first level where there should be 3. The second level, there would be 9. There are currently 5 under them. That's only on the 250, ladies and gentlemen. When we now go over to CoopCrowd 25 and we click on that side, you will see when we now go into the personal team, once again, it shows us the 6 recovery accounts. These are our 6 personals, and they're all active. When we go to cooperative team, there you can see on all the levels how many people are in the system already. And as you can see up there, it's 2,602. Welcome, main recovery CoopCrowd. Cooperative, you have 2,602 CoopCrowd members. During the time when we started with the transition, there were some groups that brought in new people that will by tomorrow be registered on CoopCrowd, and that number will go up. The people have paid to the recovery funding account already, but we needed to make sure that this transition is smooth, that we ironed out all the things, and now finally we have, and we've got leeway to the 28th of January, not the main account. Here the account again will lapse on the left top side here in 8 days, but there is sufficient funds to pay that $28. But on this one, it'll show all the people. Level 2 should have 9, which is correct. You go to level 2, all the names are in there. You go to level 3, all the names are in there. You go to level 481, all the names are there. And so it carries on through the different levels as you grow through 10 levels. Now, in overall, when this matrix is full, it will be, what was it, 88,000 people. At the moment, we're sitting on 2,602 on the recovery main account. So this is what I just wanted to show you on the difference between the corporate team and the personal team. The personal team is where everybody should have at least 3 personals. And we will get into that situation, and the strategy is still with you to explain to you, because everybody now has access to the donor keys up. So if you really want to, you can send a donor key out, the registration link, to people, and you could register 20 personals under you. And we have to be frank. You could register 20 personals under you. So, which means if we look at the personals, we currently have got 6. There was a reason for that. But if you go out and use that code and register 20 people under you, and we will show that to you just now. In fact, let me go to that right now. So this is how the matrix grows. 3, 12, 39, 120, all the way up to 88,000. And these are the earnings that you get. If we go to the next spreadsheet here, it is this one here. Let me just make this one a little smaller. All right. So there is 3 ways to receive donations through CoopCrowd. And remember, everybody contributes $25 per month plus $3 fee. That $25 is split between all the members in the following ways. 25% primary direct donations goes to the inviter. That is the person that is above you. You are one of his 3 personals. And every time one of those 3 personals under you pay their $28 or $25 into the system, you will receive 25% of that $28. Then the 3 people that are under you, those personals, also have to get 3 people, which means you now qualify for bonus donations. That's an additional 25% here at the bottom. And then everybody will receive 50% cooperative donations. These are the micro donations that come through from all the 10 levels. Now, when you go out and you use your donor key, that link, and you suddenly register 20 people under you. Yes, when those 20 people every month pay their $25 into the system, you will receive 25% of each of those 20 people. But through the recovery drive, when we start placing people and paying it forward from the funding account, we will not help you on all those additional people that you place personally under you. You will be responsible for that. The reason why we say that is, if you want to help the entire group, the recovery drive group, rather take those other additional, those 17 people, bring them in, we can place them under somebody else so that they get their 3 personals. But also we want to make sure with that other people's have got the 3 people's under their personal so that they all qualify for the bonuses, the 25% there. Because by putting more people under you, you are depriving those other people to be placed under other people so we can all go together. I just wanted to mention that. Let's go back here. All right, so that is in the back office on this account. Let me start with the other account quickly. And this is my personal account. I'm happy to share within the recovery drive. And I haven't been placed right at the top, but I'm under the first 70 people. Okay, so if we look at this now, there you can see, let's start at top left. Time until lapse, 39 days, 4 hours. Everybody's account at the moment in the recovery drive has got this time lapse, the same time lapse, because it's been reset by David. So we got until the 28th of January to make sure before everybody must pay their 28 again. And the recovery drive has got a lot of challenges because there are a lot of you out there that came into the drive that purchased a position, but you don't have 3 yet because we've placed people at the top moving down. And like I explained as well, when you've got a whole lot of people and you've got to place 3 under there will be people losing out in terms of not getting their 3 immediately. So we're working on a strategy where we will tell you, and we will get into the application form just now, where if you bring in 3 people, especially when you sponsor them, they will be placed under you. And then we have to introduce those people to other people, and they got to bring in people. But there are a lot of people out there sharing it, and they can be placed at the top where we still need to place people. So the challenge is the recovery drive, the forum, does not have enough funds in all their accounts at this point in time to pay it forward to so many more people that we can place 3 under you immediately now, in the next 28 days to January 28th. And we want you to follow us, especially in the new year. We've got huge drives going on in terms of marketing that we can bring big groups in. We were unfortunately approached by a group that said they can bring in 250,000 people, 47,000 people, and they encourage their members to join very quickly so they can benefit from all those people. Now, unfortunately, those large groups that were promised to come in never, ever came in. And we believe they were not even existing. So we are sitting from that group, and I think the people know. There were promises made by the leaders of that group that were promises by them, not by us at the recovery drive. But yes, if you've paid your position or positions, let's talk that we can see how we can help each other, because the system itself, CoopCrowd, is good. It requires people. And if everybody takes their hands with us, we will win this in getting more people in. So this is now my personal account. If you look at Coop 250, it will now tell me, like you said, when most of you will log in, it says activate your 250 cooperative in CoopCrowd. At this point in time, we do not want anybody in the recovery drive to activate their 250, because it would mean that you have to pay $250 every month. Your wallet has not even generated that. Even in the next couple of months, as we bring in more people, the top people will start getting sufficient funds, as we said. And let's go back there again. there. No, not that one. Let's go to this one here. As you go through the levels and you get more and more people coming in, and your monthly donations you receive will increase. Between level 4 and 5, when there are 120 to 363 people in your downline, in your corporate team, and you will be receiving these kind of donations every single month and consistently increasing, then we will tell you, or you will see you getting that money in, then upgrade to the 250. But one's got to make sure that the 3 below you are also earning that, so that everybody can work towards that 250. So at this point in time, we want everybody, and Heinrich will be making a video, because I know everybody can't just remember this, on how to deactivate your upgrade to CoopCrowd 250. Now, while we're on that subject, let's go into that. You will go into your co-op profile on the left-hand side. You go to my profile, and there it shows you, this is my personal account. Upgrade to 250, enabled. Auto renew CoopCrowd subscription, enabled. So I do not want to upgrade to the 250. I click on that green spot there, and I disable it. And if you've disabled it, the system will know that you've disabled. And if they take in future, you have disabled it, please take a screenshot once you've done that, so that you have got proof you've disabled it, together with the date and the time at the bottom. Keep that screenshot aside, because it has happened occasionally that the 250 was just taken off. And with going to support and sending them the proof, they put the money back into the account. So this is how you will disable it. But I do want to auto upgrade my crowd subscription. Everybody must have that on, because that is your monthly $28 contribution, so that you can benefit from people below you as well, once there are people placed below you. So this is how to deactivate your auto upgrade when you log in. And as you can see here, it shows up there, days, hours, minutes, seconds is 0. I can then go back to my co-op 25 on the left-hand side, and immediately my time lapse will be there, commission that comes through will be there, etc. When you now go through your co-op wallet and you go to wallet transactions, you will see every single transaction that happened in your account. And as you can see, my balance on here is $12. There is my digital wallet ID. That is just an identification of your private secure digital wallet. But you can also see down here, transfer from the person, etc. These are donations I've received. And if we go back to where it started off, it doesn't show it here. I know in 50/50 it showed when there was negative and transfers were made out of the account, it was in red. On CoopCrowd, here we only received donations. We didn't send donations like in 50/50. But you can see everybody that was on 50/50 on the donations, it shows on the left-hand side your credit, debit, credit, debit. I know on 50/50 the debits were in red. But there is a whole history there on your transaction that you can see, date, timestamp as well. Now, very important to look at the date of the 17th, when the transition was made. Everybody, or most of you, probably 98% of you, would have money deducted there. And in my case here, it was $21. And then on the 18th and the 3rd, I received $18 and $28. Was then deducted. Your wallet, your digital wallet will always keep $28 back for your monthly renewal. So when it goes later that you want to withdraw money, then it'll show you this is your balance, but you only got available X amount. Okay, so what we're going to do now, for those people that do not know that yet, I'm going to go and want to withdraw some funds. Number one, it will now tell me, set up Google Authenticator account. So for those people that are not familiar with this, the 2FA, two-factor authenticator, you can download this from Google Play, called Authenticator. And at the bottom right, there's a plus, and you can press that. It will then also give you a choice. And I'm going to open mine now because this is my account. I want to activate this now. So I'm going to go to my Google Authenticator. And I have to add this now. So at the bottom right on that screen, I've got a plus. I press that, and it gives me two choices. Enter a setup key or scan a QR code. When you press here, set up now in your account, and we've given you that information that was added to the email in the document. There is the QR code. I now scan the QR code. Right, there it's scanned it now. And I've got a new Co-op account. And now I've got to enter the code is given me. And I verified. And there I am in my wallet now. I've activated my secure authenticator, and I will be able to either draw funds or do a member-to-member transfer. But as it says here, my wallet was $12. That's my total amount. It tells me that my balance is 0. You have set auto renew in Co-op 25, and you are available. Balance is reduced by $28. The system, the wallet, will automatically keep back $28.28. So as I get more donations coming in here that I receive, and it gets to 28, it'll keep that back, that I can do my monthly contributions, because everybody will benefit from that. And whatever balance I've got left, then I can draw, and that withdrawal is done with Ethereum. So you got to have a external wallet, and you're going to withdraw it to your Ethereum receiving account. And then it's easy. You just go in there and withdraw your funds, put the funds in there. And the funds are processed every 6 o'clock South African time, or Central African time. It is Eastern time, American time, 12 p.m. Let's go back to my wallet. Let's go to member-to-member transfer. And here again, it will be asking me my Google Authenticator, because it's a secure wallet. So I put it in there. I verify the code. It tells me this is the balance that I have. And if I now want to transfer money, I can just put the donor key of somebody in there. So I don't have a donor key handy right now, but you put the donor key, and then as soon as you say enter, it'll give you the name under there to who you are making a member-to-member transfer. And where we say in future, if you want to donate to the recovery funding accounts, and you've got sufficient money coming in every month, and you want to do a 10% or just a once-off, we will give you the recovery funding donors key. It will say their main recovery account. And then you transfer the amount and just confirm the transfer. Now, for any people that are here that want to bring in people, let's go to our application form. And we will have to do a session again. I've got a forum meeting at 7 o'clock. So I'm just doing this training. We will place this training on the groups, so you can just listen to it again. We will take some Q&As coming through, provided that we still got time for that. So when people are now applying, number one, they've got to put their email address in. Then they've got to put in the hours referred or invited by. This will give us a statistics of who are the active people that are actually asking people to join the recovery drive. And we can put up stats and see everybody that is actually referring people. Now, the forum still has to make certain decisions, and I don't say this is set and cast in stone yet, that the next line is my account was sponsored by. So if I'm in the system and I want to bring in people because I do not have 3 personals yet, but I know 3 people that I want to bring in, I'm prepared to even pay for them on the paid forward structure. Then you put in there, those people, when they apply, must put in your name under I was referred by, and my account was sponsored by. So we can contact you for the payment of those 3 people. And those 3 people, and as I said, it's not set in stone yet, but we only think it's fair, will be placed under under you that you have got your 3 personals. And the recovery drive, the funding accounts will pull out of the recovery queue and from the under super 6 people and place them there where we still have got gaps to place 3 under some people, because that was our whole initial approach, that we place people under people. But if you're prepared to pay for somebody for 3 under you, it is only fair that we do place them under you so that you don't have to pay your $28 every single month or your position lapses. If you carry on, there are all the different groups. And this just shows the groups, but when you do the active application, you will see there's a drop-down menu that you just select the group or none of the above. So this is what I wanted to show you, is who was I referred by when you apply, and is my account sponsored? If it is not sponsored and you are just applying, then just put in NA there. It is a compulsory field in both cases. So when we go back to this account, and you now want to pay for your position, you have submitted your application. There are 2 ways how to pay for the position. Number 1, go to your Coop wallet. You can add funds in your wallet. And let's say you want to put in $30. As we said, that's what the position costs at the moment. And you submit. The system will bring you a crypto invoice. And it shows you there's the digital wallet load with $30. There's a safety surplus here. That safety surplus is specifically to cater for the volatility of the cryptocurrencies. And you can choose in how many currencies you want to pay. There's a processing fee of 1.5%. Then there is the network exchange fee. So at this point in time, the $30 position will cost $44.47. If your exchange or your external wallet that you're using does cater for USDT, you can make the payment in USDT. We know that Altcoin Trader has got that function. That is the cheapest way to pay for this position. But here you can also go and choose to pay, for argument's sake, with Ethereum. Immediately the network fee has increased a bit, and there is your $54 that you've got to pay now in total with all the fees for that $30 position. That's why we set on our Zooms, approximately with all costs included, $57. And you can choose all these different currencies that are there to pay with them. We found the best one, most reliable, is Ethereum or USDT, right up there. If you go to Bitcoin, for argument's sake, it quite happens that your safety surplus is suddenly increased tremendously. And here's the exact example. And we've been betting with this one. It is a service provider that they're using. Here, the safety surplus is no longer 10% or 20%. It suddenly shot up to $48. Your total amount to pay now is $93 for $30. Please be very careful when you choose with which cryptocurrency you pay. So when we go and put this back into Ethereum again, let's just go back there, apologies. It'll go back to only $6. So this is one way how to pay for it. When we go now to my invoices, there is the invoice we just created, and you can delete it there if you do not make payments with it. Or sometime down the line, you say, all right, I've got the funds ready now in my wallet. I want to pay this invoice now. You just go there and it will open a new tab and bring up that same invoice again. And all you need to do now is choose again Ethereum. The price goes up there because it calculates, as you can see, the Ethereum at that point in time, what it's worth against the $30, but that invoice will stay there. I can now go back to my dashboard in CoopCrowd. And the second way how you can purchase is you buy Co-op tokens. There is Co-op tokens. You go in there and you say, I want to buy a token. Now, this is the interesting part, that if you want to pay for 3 people and you want to do the $28 cycle, there is the choice that you can make. If you ever want to pay $84, that is for 3 months upfront for yourself. You can do that. If you do 28 cycle here, you can then say, I want to pay for 3 people. And you go and say next. However, if you just want to pay for yourself, it's 1 token. And you go and say next. Because I haven't got enough funds in my digital wallet, it will show me insufficient digital wallet balance because I've only got $12 in there. If I had $100 in there, or even 50, it would give me the choice that I can pay this token from within my digital wallet. I can't do that at the moment. Now I pay with cryptocurrency, and there's the invoice again, the same as the other one. But it says here, CoopCrowd purchase 1 token, level 25, $28. Your safety surplus, your processing fee, and your network fee. You got USDT, you can pay with USDT, or you can go to Ethereum. It recalculates the Ethereum price, the network fees increased, and it is now $52. And both, when we go in here now, into invoices, under my wallet, you will see both these invoices are here now. And you can choose which one you want to use to pay. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for tonight. At this point in time, let me stop sharing. Heinrich, you've answered probably quite a few questions. And ladies and gentlemen, we do not want to bump hits. The transition from 50/50 over to CoopCrowd was for us already quite a challenge. We are talking to quite a few group leaders at the moment, and we've got a big meeting coming up on the 8th of January, but we don't want to wait till then. But there will be social media marketing, and as we mentioned earlier in the group, tomorrow we will place on the different groups the short video that we had, explaining the people hardships, etc., but come in through to the recovery drive together with the application form. We've just been inundated with a lot of calls this afternoon. After that, that's why we haven't placed it. It will be placed tomorrow morning on all the groups that we have, the short video, and then the application form. All right. Heinrich, any questions before we go to Colin?
There's quite a few, but I think I've answered most of them, and Santa also helped, and Wayne as well also helped answering them. But there are people asking, but okay, when they signed up, it was told to them that they will not have to recruit, and it's a once-off payment, and now they have to recruit, which they don't have a problem with, but they feel that they've now lost their money. Remember on the CoopCrowd, the corporate overview, they also say it's a once-off payment, but then you must bring in your 3 to make sure that your subscription for the next month or the donation for the next month is covered. And that is why we told the people to share in the T's and C's. And on the 50/50, we asked them to share when they get their account, as you explained earlier, Robert. But now with the CoopCrowd, we ask you to share it now. If you do not want to sponsor the people, if they want to come in and pay, it's perfectly, you can just make sure that they fill in the form that they were referred by you. And if you had not got the 3 personals, then we will then place them under you if you sponsor them. So to make sure that you've got your 3, and that's, I always say, if I agree. There's some, like I said, there is some groups that maybe gave out misleading information. But if you treat this like your business, which it is, it will reward you in the same way. So if you're only going to sit back and wait for 3 or 4 people, me, Robert, Ben, Colin, Wayne, all those guys to build the whole drive for you, it's going to take a long time. If you come with us, take our hands, and collectively we start building, we will make sure that this will be one of the most successful drives ever being built, because we are all working together. We've all got the same heart. We want to share this, and you've seen Robert's back office. So a lot of people ask us, yeah, but you're happy, you right on the top. We're not. We're not. We are level with a lot of people on the same level. So we just do this because we love the program, because we felt we wanted to help people that lost in previous dispensations, giving them back their hope. So yeah, that's all I'm asking from the people is take hands with us and just share it with 3 people. You don't have to recruit. I've got a friend that I said, you don't have to recruit, just share. You already brought in 14 people. So yeah, I think it's a mindset thing, and we feel we hear your questions, and we hear your concerns, and we will address them in the best ability that we can do that. And if you're still not happy, then we will carry on trying to improve that. But that's our commitment from our side. So yeah, let's go to Colin. He raised his hand first.
Just hold on for 1 second there. I see quite a few questions there, and because we've recorded this, we can go through the questions. And there are some people that are unhappy and think they've lost a lot of money. We will contact you personally so we can discuss your question and your concern. And before we give Colin a minute, just give me 30 seconds. I just want to share again quickly. In the back office, people were asking marketing material. At the bottom left here, there are co-op tools. And they are not working.
Yeah, they still, Greg said they're still going to put in that new short video because the video that was in there was too long.
Okay.
So, but we also have a short video. I have put the Telegram group, and please join our group because a lot of marketing material will be put onto that group, the short video, the application form that you can share with people. And like I said, then we take hands and we make 2022 a year never to forget ever again.
Thank you, Heinrich. Colin, very
my
quickly.
English is dropping me. Thank you, Robert.
Okay, I just want to, everybody that's on this call, I call family because we're all in it together. Now we can either decide to work together or not. And if we don't work together, we're just going to spite each other. What's the use in that? Let's take hands and help each other. I mean, once we get this drive to 10,000 paid members, this thing will work automatically. So we just have to now for the next, say, 6 weeks or 8 weeks, put a bit of shoulder to the wheel and get people in, especially paid people. The more paid people we can bring, and don't say you must bring them, the people that can pay for themselves. Even if you just bring each person here, there's 2,600 of us here. Well, let's say 2,000, because some people have 100 positions. Let's say 2,000. If one of us each just bring in one, that's already 4,000. It's double. And you do it again, it's 8,000. Then we're very close to 10,000. And if you're going to do the figures, I did some sums. Once it gets to 10,000, and the main accounts are running on 250 and earning up to about 2,000, and some of us will be earning $2,000. When you get to that point, then that normal paid forward will have do it by itself. But we must get into the mode of each just bringing in 1, 2, or 3. Share it. Take the link and share it. Share it. Put it on Facebook. Put it on Instagram. Put it on Pinterest. Share it. Put it on your WhatsApp to your friends. Don't worry about rejection. You'll find somebody who will answer you and say, yes, can I join? And then there's it. Don't get negative about it. We need to help each other.
Absolutely, Colin. Thank you very much for your encouragement always. And yes, there is a support at Recovery Drive, and we will put that on the groups as well. So if you got any questions that we haven't answered tonight, Heinrich will put on the different Telegram groups the email to support that you can ask your questions and your concerns on there. And from there, we will then get back to you as soon as possible. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very, very much for attending this. And just want to say that on Wednesday, we will have another 1 o'clock and 7 p.m. Zoom overviews. And then I do think we got to respect the family time for Christmas. And we will shoot off very early in the new year again with our Zooms. In the meantime, there will be some people still working like myself. I know Heinrich has got to do his move. He will be out of action for at least a week, and give him some time to rest as well. And yeah, let's all take hands together and work in the new year in 2022. Make that the best year ever to start off with. And we will come up with strategies going forward, making sure that we will make this recovery drive a success.
Robert, our sister from the overseas, the States, has got she raised her hand. Jean, you can unmute yourself.
Hi. I just wanted to encourage everyone. I know we were almost 100, and sometimes you have people who are not patient, and we just want to hear what we want to hear. And if things don't work out for us, we kind of frustrated. So all I want to share is you look at the risk versus the benefits. Okay. So if you were to do this alone, how long will it take you? It would take you 6 or 12 months to find those 3 people, and your 3 people to find 3 people. Now here we are a group, a massive group, and coming together is a benefit for all of us. A benefit in a sense that if we're all bringing in people together, we're actually benefiting together. So that's one of the things you have to look at, key. And the other question I want to pose to those who feel like they've lost money is, have you lost your money really? And the answer for me personally, I'll say no. I'm saying no because if I had put in my money and I'm sitting in the program, I sat from June, I'll be honest, I sat from June and not having anything happen, that money is not working for me. But coming together and restructuring, because in business, sometimes you have to come to a point where you have to restructure and find a better solution. Now, coming together and restructuring and finding a better solution and moving in less than 2 months, it's a benefit. So the money you think you have lost, you will be sitting for 6-12 months for it not working with you. Then now we're coming to restructuring, and that money will start working for you. So you really haven't lost any money here at all. And the other thing I want to add is I've paid attention to the crowd. Like I said, I was in another group and I transitioned. And when you look at the crowd, even if it's $8, $5, for those of you who are already in and have received the emails, look at what happens on January 28th, because all of us is saying January 28th. January 28th, your money, you know, all the people you have under you, whether it's 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, your money on January 28th is going to be accumulative, because everybody under you whose money will change on January 28th will donate to somebody. So January 28th will be your key, where you see a donation coming from the mass of the people that are under you. So that January 28th is the key. So when you add your money, whether it's $1, $8, when you collectively add that money, you'll be very surprised that those small change that you don't think is money can add up to $1,000 just in the 25 crowd. So all I would ask you is listen to what Rob, Ben, and Henrik are telling us, and the rest of the team members. Let's really put our heads together. You know, two heads are better than one. Let's do this thing together and we'll see how we really work together. Because if you start bringing your frustration, you're only thinking about money, you're not, you know, the bigger picture. Look at the bigger picture. Look at where we're going, not where you aren't. Look at the people who've been in business. Microsoft, Amazon, they just didn't start. There are losses and gains, but look at the benefit more than what is happening now. Restructuring had to be done for that reason. So that's all I wanted to share and encourage you guys, that you really haven't lost any money. We have just restructured for something better than us just sitting and not doing anything. So let's go out there, share with everyone, because we're collectively sharing the 3 people. No one is telling you you have to. And even the jobs you have, you can't, you just don't sit and wait for a paycheck. You work for it. So why can't you work for this that is yours? Don't expect handouts all the time. The problem with us, we want to receive and do no work. Life doesn't happen. And the Bible always says, you know what? You have to plant a seed and work for it. You know, there's no sweat without sweat. So you want a sweet, but you don't want to do anything. That is not life. It doesn't happen like that. We got to put in some effort. We got to put in some energy to get the harvest that we really want to do. We cannot leave it on Ben, Henrik, and Rob to do the work for us. We're part of this body. If you're the hand, do your job. If you're the eyes, do your job. If you're the leg, do your job. So that's all I wanted to encourage. Let's not just sit and wait. Thank you.
Thank you, Jean. Very
Thank you,
much,
Jean.
some very encouraging words. And yeah, let us not wait to share this opportunity only by the 28th. We got to do it now. On the 28th is when everybody has to contribute again. And if you bring in people now, you might be in a situation where you do not have to contribute that 28 and the position will not lapse. Also, when that position on the 28th does lapse because you didn't have 3 people below you, we got another 52 days thereafter. And with our recovery drive and the marketing that we're doing, we can then help all those people eventually as well. But as everybody has said, let's work together on this. Let's bring in people, let's share this, and then let's just do this, ladies and gentlemen, to the benefit of everybody else. All right, I've got to go into another meeting. Thank you very much. We will place this recording, transfer it later, and put it on the group so that those people that I saw we were in excess of 100 people, so there are quite a few people that couldn't come in. So next time we will have to plan that there's a failover to our Facebook or to our YouTube as well, Heinrich. I didn't expect this to happen.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay, good.
Thank
People,
you, everybody.
thank you, everybody.
Stay safe.
And we'll be in touch with the people that had all the questions. Let me stop
Thank you.
recording.
Definitely.